My client paid 15K to another funding company and only got 30K in funding for it. Yikes. But then he came to us and got 125K in business funding with only two banks. So on this video, you can steal his funding strategy to get 125K in two banks as well. And more specifically, I'm going to go through and show all of this client's data points, exactly where their personal credit was, exactly where their business was, and everything else in between, so you can know exactly how this client got approved for that much with only two banks. And also, if you stick all the way into the end, only if you stick into the end, I'm going to show you the two banks that he got and break down specifically how we got that much with those banks. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. We don't have any time to waste. Now, first, I want to talk about the notes about this client and all of the unique data points and things that you need to know about this client situation, so that way you can compare and contrast with your own. And we can talk about expectations some. We can talk about why this client paid that much and only got 30K in funding and what that looks like. So the state of the client is in Oklahoma. He's a real estate investor. The reason for him even reaching out, obviously, because he only had 30K to play with, but he needed more, is because he wanted cheap capital for rehabs. He didn't want to burn his cash because he's had already been doing that. And he had access to some cash from a prior acquisition. He fixed and flipped a property essentially. So he had access to some cash, but he didn't want to burn that to go for new deals. And he had some big goals that he wanted to accomplish, and he would need more capital for it. And again, cheap capital. He didn't want to spend as much money, from hard money lenders and things like that. And also, he wanted to keep banking relationships minimal. What that means is that essentially he didn't want to open like 12 business checking accounts just to get to the number he wanted to get to, which is okay for literally a lot of you guys, but a lot of you guys not. Like, look, everyone's situation is different. The more you understand that and truly understand it really and grasp that, the better off a lot of you guys will be. A lot of you guys compare your situation to someone else that got 150, 175, 200, 250. And because people say these things with no proof, you guys think that everyone could just get 250K, 300K, 500K, and your credit score is like 700 and you just started your LLC like 2 months ago. It's not going to happen. Okay, you do have to bring something to the table. I don't make these videos so I can create some type of unrealistic expectation. I create them for those that qualify, know what they're looking at, so they can know it's possible for your profile. And if you're not qualified, I make them so that you would know what's possible once you are qualified. Okay, your credit doesn't have to be a 700 or 800 to watch this channel. But I want you to be aspiring, or I want you to be working towards, I want you to be working towards getting to that if you're looking for business funding, because those are the things that you need in order to get the best results. A lot of you guys, your mindset is, oh, well, because I got a 700, the bank should give me this and that. It's a lot of entitlement out there. And I'm telling you, if you don't have that mindset and you're constantly working on your stuff, like this client did, he put in the hard work to get his personal credit where it was at, then you'll get the results. But if not, you won't. Nobody's entitled to give you anything, including the banks. Okay. That was just my rant on that. Now, some of the concerns that he had was he didn't want to mess up his personal credit because, like I said, it is very good. And before I scrolled over, you could see his score and everything, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So he didn't want a ton of inquiries or anything messing up his personal credit. Other random notes. Yes, he paid 15K to a previous program and had to pay $95 a month afterwards. Yikes. Okay, now look, this is another random note I want to put in here. There's nothing wrong with someone charging 15K in my opinion. We don't charge that unless there's specific situations, and we have before. But for the most part, unless we're really going for a higher amount of funding, you won't be anything close to 15K with us. Okay? Now, anything wrong with that? No. But for that I think you just need to provide a client with a little bit more than 30K. It's got to be something else going on. Then the $95 a month afterward, I just don't vibe with that. Now, I'm not going to give out the name of the program. He did tell me exactly what program it was and everything. I'm not going to give that name out because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to down talk them or anything like that. But I'm just giving my perspective on it as someone that owns this type of consulting company slash funding company. Now, the 30K that he got, it was across two business credit cards. It was a 10K card and a 20K card. 10K with Chase, which he did disclose to me that he didn't open a business checking account, which I don't think is the right way to go. And he didn't have a relationship manager. In a U.S. bank, 20K, same thing, but at least, he got 20K out the deal. Business age was only 2 months at the time of applying, so he didn't have a ton of age in his business, and we'll talk about that in a second. Goal was 75 to 150K in 45 days or less, and he got that done. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was this. This is very, very important, guys. He had no new personal credit cards or accounts in the last 6 months. Look, there's a time and place for everything. When it comes to applying for personal credit cards, you guys that already have 50K, 75, 100K plus in personal credit cards, and you're looking to go for business funding, do not just still apply for random personal credit cards, even if it's like furniture cards and stuff like that. Unless you've already hit your goal on the business side or you're not actively looking for business funding, yeah, it's fine. But you can't have both. You can't be actively looking for business funding and you need to use your credit, but you're adding more things to it. I'm telling you, it's going to hold you back. Lenders do not like seeing multiple accounts added in a short period of time, unless, again, you're building up. You have no choice when you're building up. And it's okay a lot of times, too, when you're in the building phase. But I'm telling you, if you're already there, you're already built. There's no need to just add a ton of new credit cards, even one. A lot of times people will make videos on personal credit cards. Hey, this bank is giving out this, and y'all just going to get it just for the sake of getting it. Like, you don't even have a plan to go get it just because, somebody talked about getting it. You just got it. Like, there's no strategy involved, and you have to have strategy for this. Like, a lot of you guys, you just see these cards and you just think you should get it just because other people are getting it or other people are talking about it. It's just the hot bank at the moment. But that doesn't mean you need to do it. You know what I mean? Like, again, you have to have strategy. Okay. And that's one of the biggest aspects that we help our clients with, that they just actually don't even all right, let me be forthright with you guys. A lot of times they don't even appreciate it. Just keeping it real here. I think I can keep it real on this page, okay? A lot of times they don't appreciate it, don't even realize like it's a big benefit of working with us because it all looks the same to them. Just because it's a bank you've heard of before and I'm telling you to go after it, it doesn't mean that there wasn't strategy involved. Like it's a lot that goes into this that a lot of our clients just don't see. But strategy is huge. Like when you apply, how you apply, and what order you apply in, that strategy, it is very important. Just a lot of people just don't care about it. It's not as sexy as just talking about the funding itself, but it's still equally as important as anything else involved in this process. Now, if I'm saying all these things right now and you don't care to know about strategy, you just want the funding, there's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, I would be too if I wasn't actually in it. I'd probably be just like you if that's you. It's okay. Just use the link down below, schedule a call with us and let us take care of that for you. So that way you can be just like this client that went from paying 15K and only getting 30K and paying a lot less than that and getting 125K. Now, let's talk about the client's personal profile, and then we'll talk about the two banks we went to and how we got it done. Client's credit score, look at this, 813, 817, 827 with TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. So a good profile, right? Again, if your profile's not looking like this yet, I would be working towards getting it there. It's okay if it's not, it don't matter. You could have a 400 credit score right now. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Just do something about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging you for where you at. I don't care. Just improve it though. That's something you can do. Oldest credit card was from 2006. Guys, this is vastly important. Having a credit card, an older credit card on your personal profile is important. And you want to keep it active and open too. Okay, I know a lot of you guys got these credit builder cards that's charging you monthly. You hate the card, it's got a low limit and stuff, $300 limit, $500 limit or something. I get it. You can, like, if you got three of them or something, just you can close two of those three. I wouldn't do it if I was about to apply for anything though. If I was about to apply for something that, well, I have the I ain't in this out, forget it. If I was going to apply for something in 6 months or longer, then I would go ahead and do this. But if I plan on applying for something, I would just wait. But saying that above scenario, you got three of these credit builder cards, you want to close them because they're charging you fees and stuff. Close like one or two of them, but don't close your oldest one. Keep that open and active, okay? Because it does affect your credit history. But 2006, from the time I'm recording this, that's amazing history. A lot of you guys that have these 10 plus years in cards, like, you don't understand the power that you have within your profile, how much money it can really get you. Not above 524, obviously, because the client hadn't been applying for anything. Highest personal credit card, 26K. Chef's kiss. Perfect. This is perfect. Everything we're seeing right now is absolutely perfect. No derogatories. Amazing. Total accounts, 24, 23, and 25. Amazing. I love it. And then recent open accounts, like I said, no. And then hard increase, only 3, 1, and 2. Perfect. Perfect. This is the type of profile that can get you over 100K with no hassle. Okay, when done correctly, as you see. When not, you can get 30K. But when done correctly, this is the type of profile that you can take to the bank and get a lot of money for. So you can make a lot of money, right? Those just increase. And then next thing, before we talk about the banks, just a few more things. The personal credit cards. This client don't have, like, the best personal credit cards. When I say that, just from the type of credit cards that the client has. But it's okay because its total credit limit with the AUs, or authorized users, it was 96K. Almost, you might as well say 97K, right? So that's great. I'm telling you, you have this type of profile. You're going to get good results when done correctly, okay? The AUs is not even really necessary because, yeah, it helps, but he could have did it without the AUs for sure. But good stuff, good stuff. Like, if you're in this situation, you don't have to add an AU to, like, increase your chances. But hey, like I said, in this case, it did work out for this client. Anything else about the personal credit? Oh, 14% utilization. So being at 14% utilization is great. I would say good. Great, though, is at 9%. 3 to 9% is best. Why did I even start with 3? Less than 3, you can't risk that the bank will look at your profile and be like, well, they're not really applying. They're not really using their credit like that. Why you want more credit? So you do want to actually have some usage there. You do not have to actually pay interest to use your cards to show usage on your personal credit cards. By the way, that's a big myth there. A lot of people think they have to pay interest or have to carry a balance. You don't have to carry a balance. You just have to have that balance left over from the next billing cycle, if that makes sense. If not, ask me in the comments and I will definitely explain it to you. Now, what 2 banks did we go to for 125K? Colin, stop being dramatic. Okay, I got you. Only 2 banks here is Chase and American Express. Guys, that's it. Chase was a 50K approval that we got, and then a 75K approval with the American Express Business Gold Card. Now, for Chase Bank, we built them a relationship. Well, we helped them build a relationship, I should say. We showed them exactly what to do for that. And then we apply using a business relationship manager. Now, for the American Express Gold, a lot of times when you apply for the American Express card, you do want to go to the business side, like one of the charge cards first, to build a relationship, if you don't have like a personal card with them and things like that. But let's talk about the American Express Gold, okay? Let's go to that. And why do we say a 75K limit? Because some of you guys may know this. It's a charge card, meaning that you have to pay it back in full. right? At least for the most part. They have this feature now that they didn't previously have that's called a pay over time. Let's get down to that. So pay over time limit on this card actually is an offer where you can take an amount, right? Where is it at? Pay over time. Here we go. Interest rates on pay over time. So they did offer, oh, did they get rid of the 0%? Why did they get rid of 0%? Or maybe this is just for me on my page. But essentially, they were offering a 0% introductory period for 6 months for the pay over time. I know the client got it, but I'm not seeing it on my screen. If so, we are discovering this information live because banks change things rapidly, guys. Okay, this will be crazy if it is. But if you see, this is a targeted offer for me, this offer right here. So I would have to go to an incognito video or web page, excuse me, in order to see for sure. But essentially, guys, again, you would have this pay over time limit that will go for 0% interest for 6 months. And that limit was 75K for him. So boom, just like that, he can take 75K, spend that in the next 6 months and not pay any interest on it. So that was amazing for him. Now, everything else, though, is pretty standard. And again, for American Express, we did build a relationship and everything with them first, too, as well. But that is pretty much it. Oh, by the way, the client, we see U.S. Bank and Bank of America on here. Look, like the client was actually good at 125K. We could have went for more. And that's one thing that happened, or at least happens a lot that I was not expecting once I got start getting clients higher limits is that a lot of times clients, they'll stop us. They'll be like, okay, no, I'm good. Like, dang, really? And we had other banks to go to, but they end up stopping us. Or they're just like, oh, this is good. I appreciate it. So it's pretty cool to see that. It's always really funny because like you just really wouldn't expect that. It's almost like if you're a personal trainer and you're like, you know, you help somebody lose 50 pounds and they're like, yeah, I look good now. Yeah, I'm actually good. I know the workouts. I got the meal plan down. I'm good to go. So that's what it feels like. But anyways, that's another aside. I'm just trying to keep it raw with you guys. You know, I feel like a lot of this stuff, especially with AI, people have no personality. I'm just trying to give it to you raw, exactly how it be and my thoughts on these things. But anyways, that is pretty much it, guys. If this video was helpful for you, go ahead and watch the video on screen for another funding strategy video and then exactly what banks we went to there. See you in the next one.